Well, let's transition a little bit to business builder retention. We talked a little bit the other day, Todd, about some compensation plan trends and just how a company can control the behaviors that they drive and the long-term retention of what they're doing with the field, whether it's through tools that they're offering, promotions that they're doing, these type of things. Those all have an impact, right, on a long-term retention of a business builder. So what are some of the keys that you've seen as far as retention goes, both at a distributor level for retaining your group, but more so from a corporate standpoint, key things that they should be doing to make sure that their retention stays high?
Yeah, I think first of all, it comes down to simplicity, right? Like if you look at duplication, how do you create duplication? Well, through systems and simplicity, in my opinion, right? The easier it is to do or understand, the easier it's going to be for people to go out and make things happen. So, from a company standpoint, again, I would say that goes down to how are they communicating with their new representative, right? So, way back in the day, back in the 90s, no company communicated to my people, right? There was no messaging
on your upline, right? Or your group communication, because corporate didn't. And part of it may have been, right, at that point, there wasn't the technology. I mean, at that point, there was the triple NCR enrollment that you were faxing in, right? And so
yeah, and then you were getting printouts, with your check. There was no back office genealogy you could log into. You had to wait for your distributor kit. There was no distributor kits. And again, I think like companies are going to think, okay, well, we've got this person that flagged themselves, at least that they have some level of interest in being a distributor. I think you guys all know, I mean, everybody should know this, that, most new distributors have a clock ticking on them, right?
Yep.
It's like this little timer. We don't know when the timer is going to go off. Could be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And if that person isn't where they want to be or thought they should be in that time frame, then it either leads to frustration and discouragement, or it just leads them canceling out of the scenario, right? So I think it's also about creating proper expectations for the new distributor. Like when I started in network marketing, I thought I was going to be making 10 grand a month in 90 days, not because somebody told me that, but that's the picture that I painted in my mind through the business opportunity presentation that I saw. And I wasn't even at like $10 a month after 90 days. So
right.
I was pretty hard-headed and naive at the same time. So I stayed through the thinness till I got to the other side. But I think companies can do a good job of like laying out a simple plan on how somebody can get themselves into profit and providing them ideas. Because here's the thing, sometimes distributors sign people up and they signed up yesterday.
Yeah.
Or maybe they signed up yesterday and they have an upline that may not be really that good or that active, or is not really fully plugged in. So if the company can provide assets to the new distributor, regardless of what what's going on within that line of sponsorship, then they're giving that person a better chance of creating success. And it's like, oh, I don't know. Like, think about it, brand new person. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, well, I don't know how to do it or what to do or how to do it. And you're waiting around. Hopefully not waiting around. I mean, my philosophy with if you're a distributor and you're watching this is like, you get into business with them the moment that distributor ID number is punched out of the system. It's not like go send you on your merry way to a training journey for the next week and then let's talk. For me, if I was active in the field today and I signed you up, McKinley, like bam, that day, that moment that you have a distributor ID number, it's like, hey, who do you want as a customer? Who do you want as a distributor? Let's go talk to those people right now. And having a hands-on approach to helping a person. I think that's a thing that there's a lot of people, because I work with tons of people in this business, they sign them up and they just kind of send them on their merry way. And an example I'll use, it's kind of outside of network marketing. So I bought this house and I moved into the house and the house was vacant for 18 days and the previous owners turned the sprinkler system off. So my yard was dead and I was already getting complaints from the HOA before I ever moved into the house. I already got a letter. And so I was like, oh gosh, I got to deal with this. So I turned the sprinkler system on. There was leaks everywhere. And I was like, oh man. So I talked to a couple neighbors, got a guy to come over that night who's like a sprinkler guy. I don't know anything about sprinklers. And I was afraid to touch the sprinkler because I knew nothing about it. So I was out there watching him and he's like, yeah, you just do this. You just dig around it. I was afraid to break like a pipe and make it worse. He's like, no, they're on a flexible hose. You just do this. You pull it out, you take it off, you put it back on. And what the reason I'm bringing up this point is he didn't ask me to hang out with him. I was just checking it out. But that hands-on show me kind of situation, like he demonstrated to me how to do it. That was powerful. And I don't know too many companies that are providing information to a brand new distributor where it's like, show me, right? If if you like look at basic teaching, tell, show, try, do. Let me explain to you what this is and how it, how it's made, how money is made in this type of business. Here, let me demonstrate it. Like I've had people come to my house. I'm like, hey, you want to watch me? You can watch me. Come and watch me prospect, and I'll talk to you about why I do what I do. That demonstration is powerful, and it helps people to learn much faster than just pointing your finger.
No, and I think that's a key thing, right? That whole concept that you just talked about there, the tell, show, try, do. If you can get someone to get in and learn that and then get their quick wins, that's key, right? And so I think the first point that you touched on, that communication is so critical. Gone are the days where you can just sign them up and hope that it works, And so now it's everything from Nate talked about how with our app, they have the magic link. So I sign up, and within minutes of signing up, I'm going to have a text that says, welcome to starting your business. Come join us. And I can be in the app. I can watch trainings, onboarding, get started, learn some of that. And I can even be in sending a sample within 5 minutes and start building the business in that way. And I think the key thing for me that we've seen is if you can get someone in and doing something right out of the gates, then you're going to create that success. You're going to create long-term stickiness. We had a client that we did a case study with that they found, they were averaging about 2.5 months of retention for business builders across all their enrollments, right? So that's probably pretty industry standard. And what they found is they launched, with the app, this welcome, text that they get to get into the app. And then they had this training that got them in and going. And they found that if they could get someone in the app in that first month, people who were in the app in the first month, they averaged 6.5 months of retention as a business builder. And so it's those basic steps that you're talking about. You've got to show them how to do it. You got to give them the tools to do it and then help them to succeed. And if you can create those wins out of the gates, then the retention numbers can go up just massively. But you can't just hope that they're going to figure it out. So Nate, you've had some clients that I know succeeded there. What are some of the key points that you've seen people succeed in that instance?
I just wanted to add to that to that whole topic is the redundancy that needs to take place. So Todd, the first and foremost layer should be that the leader gets in and works with them immediately. Just like you said, holds their hands, takes them through, but sometimes that doesn't happen, right? So then you've got to have that webhook magic link text that comes that maybe goes through a learning management system that helps them. Maybe it's in your back office, your system, in your welcome kit. Maybe there's like a jumpstart guide that shows them how to do it. You have corporate calls that talk about that so that it's not a just hope it happens, right, but you ensure that no matter how they come in, no matter what they see, not only do they get exposed redundantly to the same information, but that it is tied together. It is the same information. There's harmony to it. The same thing that's said in the app is said in the welcome guide, which is said by the leaders, that sort of thing.